Hi everyone, it has been a very long time since I last saw you or updated you about anything, so this is what this vlog is for. Welcome to today's vlog. Welcome back to this absentee YouTube channel that I have been running. I almost said you boob. I'm back. Things have settled down and I finally have time to film and, more importantly, edit. And I am so excited to share a little bit about what's been going on and to start filming our summer and sharing that with you guys. I have my tea with me, my afternoon tea. I've been having I drink my 1 cup of coffee in the morning, and then at 2 or 3 o'clock I have a cup of either red rose, not Earl Grey usually, sometimes Earl Grey, English breakfast. I'm a tea lady, you guys know this. I guess I should say hello to anybody who is new. I know I've had a few new subscribers since I've been gone, so hello and welcome. Hope you enjoy. It's random up in here. Oh, I should say, because I've gotten this comment a few times, it's been a while since you guys saw me, and so many people are like, wow, your hair is so much longer. I feel like once it passed my shoulders, it just grew like crazy. For those of you who are new, I cut off 19 inches of hair, and then I kept it short for a year, and then I decided I was gonna let it grow back out. So now we're really getting there now. It's quite long now. And I think I'm not gonna let it get too much longer, just a little bit. I'm not gonna go back to how long it was before. That was a little too much, and then it made me get so sick of it that I cut all of it off instead of just keeping it at a nice long but not too long length. You know what I mean? Okay, anyway, I didn't come here to talk about my hair, so let's get into what has been going on. And I know the burning question everybody is dying to know: did we move? Are we moved? I think you can tell behind me that we're still in the same house, so let me chat about that. So we announced a couple of months ago, which is probably only a couple of vlogs ago perhaps, that we were moving in the spring, and obviously it is July now and we have not moved. There is a rainstorm happening outside, which is why I have some quiet, because the kids are having some tech time. So if you hear thunder in the background or loud banging, it's just thunder. So I explained a little bit about our move, and it was a little bit unique in our situation of where we were going to move to. If you haven't watched that video, it will be in the end card. I'll make sure I put it there. Rainbow, while you're editing this, put that in the end card. So go check that out if you're curious about what the situation was going to be. So I don't want to talk too much about what happened with that, because it's not really mine to share. However, COVID affected so many different things. People's jobs were up in the air, people's moves were up in the air, everything up in the air, and it still kind of is. Here where I'm living, we're almost back to a normal reopening. We are a stage or 2 away from it. I don't know. We're pretty much back up and running as normal-ish. However, back in the spring, when it started, it really threw off our plans, because we were going to move into friends of ours' house because they were being transferred to America, and they were going to be transferred there for work for a few years, and it just so happened that we were going to move around the same time. And so it was hey, a really convenient thing, why don't you take over our house, that way you don't have to look. And then they don't have to worry about strangers living in their house or trying to sell it in the current market, which here is not great and wasn't great before. So that was what we were going to do. We were going to take over their house for them. They were going to move to the States, and it was going to be all hunky-dory. But COVID hit, and that got delayed until it got completely canceled. Obviously nobody was allowed to cross the border, so that delayed it for a long time. And then there was just some other COVID related issues that meant that was no longer an option. So we started house hunting we've been house hunting for 4 months. So since probably the end of February we've been house hunting, or just browsing, but then we got more serious about it in March. And then we've been really serious about it since probably April. So it's been a really big whirlwind. And I know the market is different everywhere you go. So where we live, the market is not great. Either way, it's just housing is weird right now. There's not a lot, depending where you are. Where we are very specifically in our town, the market sucks. So it has been really, really challenging to house hunt. In a nutshell, we are not moving. Obviously, we're still in our house. That's not entirely true either. We are not moving. I'm getting ahead of myself. So when we were house hunting, I think I updated you guys while we were looking, and I talked to you a little bit about how we were no longer moving into that house and we needed to house hunt. So we've looked at several houses, and I think maybe one or two came close to being like good enough or something we would consider. The problem with the area we live in right now is it's all townhouses and condos and apartments, and it's very rare for a full like 4 or 5 bedroom house to come up. Even like 3-bedroom house is difficult with a yard and a garage and everything like that. So I don't know why, because we're in the middle of suburbia, but it's just really not been the right market for it. And we know that COVID would affect things, so there was so little on the market that it made it very, very difficult. Maybe you're wondering why we wouldn't consider a townhouse or a condo since we're living in such a small home now. Here, we can't have a condo board. Townhouses have condo boards, and so do condos, and we can't have one because, one, Carly is too big to be accepted into any of them. And 2, you're not allowed to run your own business from home in any of them. And I have 2 businesses that I run from home. So that's a huge, huge problem, because then I wouldn't be able to work. I wouldn't be able to do what I already do or what I want to do. So there was just no point in settling for that. And also, if we're going to move, we want more space for a lot of reasons. So it just didn't make sense to move into a townhouse or a condo, especially temporarily. It's just not the right fit for us. So that's why we just nixed anything that was too small. Townhouse, condo attached to anybody else was like a no-go. Absolutely not. So anyway, in our area, it was just like a ton of townhouses, condos, and things of that nature were built. And now there's just almost like a surplus of them. And there was just no full houses. Everyone we saw just either was not nice or didn't work, or there was an issue with it. And we are being picky, but to an extent. Like, I just want to, I don't know, I'm not defending our choices because there's nothing to defend, but we're just not going to move into a house that's not up to our standards. Like, there's no point in doing all the work of a move if it's to a crappy house, you know? We live in a small town, and there's not a lot here in terms of things to choose from. Sometimes there are really, really, really good years where there's so much, and some years it's just dead. And that is why we came here in the first place to where we're living, like in this house. So it's been a bit of a shock to the system to get back into the market of things. And here's another thing that I feel like I should say. The reason I think I'm struggling and going over my words so much is that I'm trying not to share too much information about anybody else or necessarily about us and where we live, although it's not super hidden information. But we could always move to the city. We live really close to a city. We live really close to Calgary, so we could always go to the city. And that is always an option. However, we really don't want to move away from our friends and family. We really, really considered it, and we weighed our pros and cons because the city offers a lot of things that our town can't. But at the end of the day, the cons were just too big to move right now. So after much deliberation and much house hunting and seeing a lot of houses, it was just really overwhelming, and we felt really out of place. We felt like we were just up in the air for so many months that it was just too much. It was too much on the kids. It was too much on us. We were constantly looking and half packing, and it was just this really bizarre period of limbo that was really stressful. So we decided that instead of just jumping into a house that we don't like and that we don't really want, we are going to stay here until the spring. So we're just gonna suck it up, and we are going to stay in a small space until next spring. And the plan is that we hope things with the world, the economy, everything will chill out a little bit over the next few months. We don't want to move in the middle of winter because we live in Canada, and that is cold and icy and no fun. So we decided that it would just be best to stay put for now, see what happens. It's also like a thing with Cody's work. Like, there were so many layoffs here. Cody didn't get laid off, but like Cody's company alone, like half their staff in through the whole company, and Cody stayed on, and so there's growth opportunity with work for him, and we just don't know where we might end up. So it's just so many things point that it's just better to kind of stay for what we're calling our flex year. It's not a full year, but just let things cool down with the economy and with the market, and hope that if we wait this year, we won't have to leave our town, which we would really prefer. We really, really want to stay here. It's the first time in like 8 years that Cody doesn't have a commute, and that's been really, really nice, especially with the hours he works. If you watch the vlogs, then you know he works really like wild hours, and that on top of a commute, I just don't think we could handle that. So it's really important just for our family dynamic, and to be able to see our extended family and friends, our really, really good friends, that we try our best to stay where we are. So this is our effort to try to stay where we are. There's also benefits to staying. There's a lot of financial gain for staying for the year. It just gives us a little more time to save for some big things that we want to tackle coming up, which I'll talk about more. I know that's a little elusive, but I just don't think we're ready to talk about that yet. And then it's been kind of a blessing in disguise, because we learned what we like and what we really don't like. We learned that, you know, maybe that wouldn't have been the best situation for us in the first place, because we didn't consider a lot of things that all of this house hunting and looking and just kind of being thrown up in the air has made us consider. So now we're going to move in the spring, and it will be our last move, and then we are going to hopefully build or buy. We haven't decided. So we're renting, by the way. So we're gonna rent one more time, and then just finish saving up. And then hopefully, so far, I'm saying hopefully, and I'm saying so far because everything changes. Who knows what will change in the next couple of years? Like, I don't know if what we'll want is something totally different, or maybe Cody gets transferred, or maybe we just decide to do something completely different. I have to get out of the habit of saying like, this is what we're gonna do, because things change and life is crazy. So the plan right now is to stay here for a year, almost a year till the spring of 2021, and hopefully we will have a couple of big things that we really wanted paid for and done, and then we'll be able to move one more time and save to probably, this experience has told us we'll probably build instead of buy, but who knows, because I'm a sucker for a character home. And we don't know if we will be staying in our town when we move in the spring, or if we will be moving to the city, because if the market stays the way it is, we will not stay. There's just no way we can, because again, we're not going to settle for a crappy house. So, and there's more options in the city, so we'll just go to the city if we have to. But this is our hopes that things can settle down so we can stay where we live. Because there's a lot of benefits. Oh my goodness, this is long-winded. I'm so sorry, you guys. I haven't talked to you for so long, and I feel like I haven't really explained this to anybody yet. And so I don't have practice. explaining my thoughts. And it's just been such a rush because in staying, we decided, well, the house doesn't work the way it is right now. We're too cramped. We need more space. What are we gonna do? So we ended up moving our bed, like Cody and I's bedroom, up to one of the spare bedrooms upstairs. So now like we have a bathroom and we had a bathroom upstairs before. And because if you're new, we're in a like basement apartment. And my husband's parents live upstairs. And so we took one of the spare bedrooms as our master because we only sleep in there. So we don't spend time up there. So that keeps us nice and separated still, because that is important for everybody's sanity, I think. And so we moved it and created more space, and we just finished it. We worked so hard for a week. Don't get me wrong, there are still things I have to do this summer. Like we still have a couple little projects. I have to finish painting the kids' room that I never finished from last year because I don't know, I just didn't finish it. And there's a couple little things like refinishing our table that we have to do that we just didn't get around to. But this summer has been so freaking rainy so far. It has been very hard to do any projects. So that is what we've been doing. It's been busy, but we're finally done. We finished yesterday, right? No, 2 days ago. We finished Thursday night and it's Saturday now. So I think you're getting this the same day. And it just feels so much better. We have room to breathe. The dogs don't like it because they're getting used to sleeping in different spots and they're finicky old people. I don't want this to be terribly, terribly long. What else is important to update you on? Oh, something else that kept us very busy is you guys know that our dog Carly, our bigger dog, she was diagnosed with like a disease last year, and we've been dealing with that with her. She's doing really well though, and we've managed that. And then this summer, our Chihuahua Fynn was diagnosed with something as well. It was kind of a bit traumatic at first because he has back issues. Basically, he has something called IVDD, which is a spinal problem with spinal discs. So he has 3 bulging discs in the last 3 vertebrae of his spine. And it's not a common thing, but it is something you can see in Chihuahuas. They jump around a lot. They're so small that like going up the stairs is a really big feat for them. So things like that. And he's old. And so now we've realized though that some of his issues from a few years ago and just over the past few years have been IVDD and not what we thought. So we had to consider surgery, which is insanely expensive. Surgery is about $20,000. Yes, you heard that right. Insane. And he's turning 11, so he would also have to go do surgery in there's one place in the city, but ideally it would be better to send him to one of the animal hospitals in the next province over. And so we would have to like ship him and send him to go get surgery, and then he would have to be like sent back. And we just think it would be far too traumatic for him. He's 11, like I said, he's going to be 11 at the end of this summer, and we just don't think he can handle it. He's got such bad anxiety. It's very, Chihuahuas often have separation anxiety with their humans, and we think that combined with healing for surgery would just be far too much, and we don't think he would survive it. So we've had to really weigh the options, not to mention, $20,000 for a dog surgery is insane. And that's obviously something to think about quite seriously. But he's been doing really, really well. So we tried him on a few medications. We had to switch his medication because one wasn't working for him. But since we did the medication switch, he started doggy chiropractor care. So that has been wonderful for him. So he goes every couple weeks. Now he's already weaned down to every 2 to 3 weeks, which is wonderful. And he's doing so much better. We haven't had an episode in a little while. All this means is that throughout his life, we have to make him the most comfortable we can, and that sometimes he's going to have flare-ups, which means he won't be able to move around a lot. He just gets really, like, his discs bulge, and there's no way to get them back in without surgery. So he basically just has flare-ups in his lower back, and we have to just help keep him really comfortable, maybe medicate him during those times. And there's a lot of things we can do that we've learned about that can make him more comfortable. But we didn't learn this until he had a problem on the day that our guinea pig Lily died, because we had that's another thing. One of our guinea pigs passed away of old age, so that was really hard. And the next morning, that's when Finn's first flare-up happened, and then he had another one 2.5 weeks later, which really wasn't good, was when we discovered we were going to try and switch up his meds. And since then, he's been totally fine, and it's actually been really hard to keep him from jumping up on furniture or like running up the stairs himself, because we have to carry him everywhere now pretty much just to keep him healthy and good. So you might see, I just want to tell you guys that in case I mention it and forgot I didn't explain something about Fynn, him taking medication, or if you like see us, I don't know, you just might see him more often, because I have to keep like a hawk's eye on him, and I'm like looking at him sleeping on the couch behind the camera. So he's going to be okay with close vet care and chiropractic care and medication and maybe some supplements. And then there is a small chance, well, it's not really a small chance, there is a chance that one of his episodes could flare and he could tweak himself wrong, and there is a chance that he could wind up in a doggy wheelchair and lose the use of his back legs. That is the risk we run with not doing surgery, but I feel like the risk of surgery, we've gone over it extensively. We think the risk of surgery would be greater for him than the risk of being paralyzed, and we fully believe that we are capable to handle that should that happen. So that is the update on little Fynn. It's serious and it's scary, but like we've come to terms with it, and we've like been proactive about it, and we feel like we're quite equipped, and we're just ready, because we knew this was like when your dogs start to get old, or your pets start to get old, you know it's coming, and you know you're gonna have to face challenges. So now we have 2 special old puppers, and they're both about to be 11, and we're just so grateful every day we get to have them, and every day they're here with us. And we still have one little senior guinea pig. And again, some people have asked, are you getting another one? No, we're not going to, because one, we will start a cycle that will never end of getting a new pig every time one dies, especially since we have a senior guinea pig. If we get a new one, that's a huge age gap, and so we'd constantly be having to replace a cage mate every time the senior pig died. And we don't think she would get along with one after being buddies with her cage mate since she was a baby. So we've just been like taking extra care of her and giving her way more social time. She sits in the living room. It looks not great decor wise to have a guinea pig cage in the middle of your living room, but it is best for her, and she gets the most attention and love, and she's happy. So that's all the animal updates I have for you. That's all I'm going to update you on, because I've been talking at you forever. But again, I just wanted to get this out and kind of have a sit down with you. So I hope you have a cup of tea or something, or you had, because by now you've certainly finished it. But I'm going to start vlogging again, and I'm going to try really, really hard to stick to a 3 days a week schedule for now. The plan is, what is my plan? Is it Monday, Thursday, and Saturday, I think is my schedule. I should double check that. I have it written down. But I'm going to try really, really hard to stick to that over the summer. And I feel like now that things are calmer, and I feel like my plate is a little more balanced, then that I can handle it. So anyways, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this update. If you're still here, holy man, I commend you. I'm so grateful for all of you who just watch me ramble and talk, but I know a lot of you were like, where have you been? So I just wanted to give you a really extensive, thorough update. I have tea hiccups now. If you have any questions, or you want me to touch on something in the next vlog or next video, just drop them down below. I'm always happy to interact with you guys, and love when you drop me comments and chat with me there. So I will see you guys in a couple of days. We're gonna vlog over the weekend, and Cody is actually this is his last day of work, and then he's on holidays for like 8 days. Finally, his first vacation in 2 years almost. I'm so excited. So I don't know, we're either gonna do a lot of adventures or a lot of nothing, because dude needs a break before he burns out. So Anyway, we're gonna get up to something and I'll share it with you guys. I'm so excited to be back. Thank you for watching and we'll see you in my next one. Baby, you're the one for me. Baby, you were meant for me. I'm madly in love with you.